They say the blacker the berry, the sweeter the truth. Hands in the air for the ones who carry the proof. Grandma's hands, cocoa brown, turning collars into crown. Kitchen stories, hush, hush, pain, turn that sugar out of blank. Gold hoops knock on bedroom wall, Kente print on Sunday shawl. Say my name in every prayer, thick like smoking southern air. Blacker the berry, bigger the crown. We rise up slow, but we don't bow down. From black hair, black roots in the ground, to the base of our hearts, that heavy sound. Blacker the berry, sing it out loud. Every shade, every scar, so proud. If they ever try to write us out, we incarnate with the anthem now. 3. Yeah, we on. Pop a cork, set the scene. Gold glass, big dreams. Little hood, still pristine. Laugh lines where lipstick sheen. Secrets fizz when we sit down. High heels, low-key crown. Spill tea, still hold it down. Toast up, level up now. Champagne secrets, sip, savor, spill it. Grown and sexy, talk that talk, but we are when we feel it. Champagne and power, glow in the midnight hour. Little hood, whole lot of class, we gon' cry and laugh louder. Slow pour, let it ride. Real talk, no disguise. Bad days, but we still thrive. Soft heart, hard-earned pride. I'm in a big bag, big piece too. Pray first, then make moves. I'm blessed, self-love in every view. Hit play, it's a new you. I'm chosen. Champagne secret, sip, save, spill it. Grown and sexy, talk that talk, but we are when we feel it. I'm healed. Champagne and power, glow in the midnight hour. Little hood, whole lot of class, we gon' cry and laugh louder. Picking down, move right. Deep breath, slow sound, champagne. Secrets out now, I'm ready. Picking down, move right. Perfecto, now champagne. Secrets out now, I'm ready.
Hey girl,
Hey girl,
what you doing?
nothing much.
Get dressed.
For why?
Because we're going to the city. I need a little sip, savor, and spill.
Let's toast.
What you got going on tonight?
Can't call it. Owning the night. What you getting into?
Empress down in the city tonight. I'm feeling like champagne.
Let's toast.
The content you are about to indulge in may contain high levels of truth, sarcasm, and emotional damage. Viewer discretion is advised, but honestly, you clicked, so here we are.
Side effects of watching may include sudden clarity about your life choices, uncontrollable laughter at inappropriate moments, mild to severe eye rolling at ignorant comments in the chat, increased confidence, boldness, and I said what I said energy, or getting read like a hardcover novel with highlighted notes. Your bad take being turned into tonight's entertainment. A free personality evaluation you didn't ask for, but clearly need needed and temporary embarrassment followed by permanent self-reflection, optional, but recommended. Do not consume if you are allergic to accountability, growth, hearing the truth without sugarcoating. If symptoms of being triggered persist, log off, hydrate, and try again tomorrow. By continuing to watch, you agree that your feelings may or may not be spared, and that's between you and your Wi-Fi.
Management will not be issuing apologies, refunds, or emotional support for bruised ego.
We do not argue here. We educate, escalate, and occasionally decorate the situation with a little razzle-dazzle, respectfully.
Stay classy, stay sassy, and remember, if it don't apply, let it fly.
Either way, the glass stay full and the tea stay hot. You either handle it or get handled. Can you handle it? Let's toast.
Silk on my skin.
You want answers? I think I'm entitled. You want answers? I want the truth! You can't handle the truth!
Enough is enough! I have had it with these motherfucking snakes on this motherfucking plane! These motherfucking snakes on this motherfucking plane! These motherfucking snakes on this motherfucking plane! Everybody strap in! I'm about to open some fucking windows.
Yeah.
I think you saw it. You saw it. Hold on, just in case you didn't. There you go. Wealth flows to you. And it does. I need reach up and receive it. Receive it. Champagne Gang, FizzFam, Confidants, and visitors to the Champagne City. If this is your first time here, hi, I'm the Empress, and you are joining me for grown discussions and bubbly banter. Baby, over here we give classy with a twist, huh? A little clink with chaos with a side of charm. So if you're ready to sip, savor, and spill, please grab your glass of your favorite bubbly. I don't care if it's sparkling water. Please make sure you're nice and comfy. Fellas, your PJs. Ladies, your jammy jams. Kick your feet up in one of those Chase lounges. Say hi to a few people in the chat. Look to your left. Look to your right. Say, hey, boo. And if nobody's there, please look at the screen. Lift your glass high in the air because it's time for our positivity and affirmations. Y'all ready? Today, we are talking about this is your moment. Tonight, stop waiting to feel ready. Stop acting like your life is about to begin somewhere down the line after one more sign or one more lesson or one more perfect circumstance. No, this is it. This is your moment. Not because everything is perfect, but because you're finally becoming the version of yourself that can hold what's next. This is your moment. The moment you stop doubting your voice. The moment you stop shrinking your presence. The moment you stop treating your gifts like they're ordinary, because they're not, and neither are you. This is your moment to walk differently, to choose yourself fully, to move with the kind of confidence that doesn't need permission to exist. You've spent enough time preparing, enough time surviving, enough time wondering if you were enough for the life you want. You are. And the proof is that you're still here, still growing, still reaching. So tonight, no playing small, no hesitating at doors meant for you. No dimming your light just because others forgot how to shine. You step forward. You own your space. You let your presence speak before your words ever have to. Now say it with me. Glass in the air. I stop waiting and I step fully into my life. I trust my gifts and I move with confidence. I honor my growth and I stop shrinking my potential. I got it because this moment was always meant for me. And tonight, I stop standing on the sidelines of my own life and I finally walk into the moment with my whole presence. And if you believe that deep down on the inside, baby, lift that glass in the air. Let's toast. And if you came into my beautiful, wonderful city with your heart set on hell and your mind set on negative intentions, baby, I just want to let you know up front, in the city, we don't do no trolls.
Yeah. Whole squad on patrol. Where they at? Point them out that troll. Troll buses on patrol. Hey, hey, hey. Troll buses on patrol, troll patrol. Clamp down, shut them out, tow that troll. Click clap, log them out, fold that troll. Whole chair, chanting now, roast that troll. Roast that troll. Troll buses on patrol, troll patrol. Yeah, big boots, stomp them out, roll that troll. Roll it. Cap lock, drag them out, scroll that troll. Crowd yell loud, we control these trolls. We control these trolls. You type to little mole that troll. Live in my crib, little bowl cut troll. Grease on your keys, little old stain troll. Bridge so hot, screen cold from the troll. You a bridge bottom, did water troll. Wi-Fi weak, one bar in your soul. Profile pic, just an egg on a pole. Whole existence on whole set troll. Saying fake pages, same lane troll. Catfish filter, can't say that troll. Talk big game, but you fold like a scroll. We just laugh, hit mute on the troll. Troll buzzers on patrol, troll patrol. Wait. Clamp down, shut them out, tow that troll. Click, clack, log them off, fold that troll. Whole chat, chanting now, roast that troll. Roast that troll. Troll buzzers on patrol, troll patrol. Big boots, stomp them out, roll that troll. Cap lock, drag them out, scroll that troll. Crowd yell loud, we control these trolls. We control these trolls. You a damn rock, mouse grown troll. Little dust mite off brand troll. Cheap fry or hair, little egg roll troll. Keyboard chrome, snap fat troll. You a bad C, no roll troll. Big talk, zero gold troll. DM tough in the street, so cold. See us live on your spine, made a jello troll. You a trash bag, half torn troll. We a whole squad, patrol that scroll. On the fly swatter, you the mad ass troll. She the boot heel, flatten that troll. Go home, go home, troll. Whole room, yeah, log off troll. Log off, home, go home, troll. Whole room, yeah, grab troll. Troll busters is on patrol, troll patrol. Slam down, shut them out, tow that troll. Click clack, log them off, fold that troll. Whole chat, chanting now, roast that troll. Roast that troll. Troll buses on patrol, troll patrol. Big boots, stomp them out, roll that troll. Cap lock, drag them out, scroll that troll. Crowd yell loud, we control these trolls. We control these trolls.
Police! Help! Police! Help! Police! Help!
Here we go again.
Ladies and gentlemen, confidants, welcome to the Hennessy Zone. Straight talk, no chaser. This place was created for those topics that require, well, a little something stronger than just champagne. Over here, we think and drink responsibly. Now let me give you a disclaimer. Everything discussed in the Hennessy Zone, all of the commentary is based on my opinion, and is done so in accordance with the Fair Use Act, which allows for these discussions for the purpose of entertainment and teaching, because there's wisdom to be gained from everything, whether it's good or bad. Now, we don't attempt to solve cases over here, but we do discuss them, and I love to hear your opinions about each of the cases we discuss, so please do me a favor and drop in the comments and let me know what you think about today's case.
What's going on, Champagne Gang? Please do me a favor and make sure you hit that like and the subscribe button and the notification bell so you'll be notified when we jump into whichever sector we jump into for another show. Y'all have been noticing that I've been dropping some videos and also doing lives as well. So please turn on your notification bell so you will get our live notification and our video drops. Also, go to the home channel and check out our VIP lounge. There you will find the other channels within the Champagne City. Champagne Secrets React, Champagne Mystique, the Hennessy Zone, Inky Noir, Champagne Mysteries, all of which we're going to start back creating in real soon. So please go and subscribe for me. I would greatly appreciate it. Now on to today's show. Hold on, y'all. I got to add something in here. Hold on. I found the video, y'all, that's been stressing me out because it was lost somewhere in my computer of who Erika Kirk reminds me of in the show True Blood. Check this out.
No way.
Hello, honey.
Oh, Sarah, thank you so much for coming to save me.
Oh, that's good. You're funny as a vampire. You know, you were never funny as a human being.
We had some good times.
Really? Because I don't remember it that way.
Sarah, I'm so fucking scared. What is this place?
You hurt me, Steve. You embarrassed me. And then you disappeared, along with all our friends and all our money.
Yeah, but then you wrote a book about it, which I read, by the way. Didn't paint me in the best light, but considering those sales numbers, I'm assuming you're doing okay now.
You're right about that. I should be thanking you.
You're welcome.
But I'm not going to. You just asked me a minute ago what this place is. This place is everything that we used to dream about. It's what the Fellowship of the Sun has all been leading to. God's master plan to save the human race by eradicating the vampire race. And the best part is, you, Steve, are a vampire.
But not.
That's who she makes me think of. You would have to have seen True Blood or go back and watch some clips and watch the Circle of the Sun, Light of Temple of the Sun, whoever she just mentioned in there. That's who y'all got to go check out because that's who Erika Kirk reminds me of. And let's get this background on here. And as you see, I have Charlie's Angels on here because I think that's who Erika thought she was. And if it wasn't Charlie's Angels, it was definitely this. She clearly put on that outfit and thought she was Erica Blade or something. She thought she was landing a one-hitter quitter or something. What's going on? Because who exactly did she think she was in all black? All black. I told y'all she transformed into the Mighty Morphin Maga'ite. That's exactly who she thought she was. And if it wasn't that, she clearly thought she was Janet Jackson from Rhythmless Nation or something. Or something, clearly, with the all black on and the hat. Who was her stylist for that video? I keep telling y'all, this is why men don't want women in charge. Because y'all impromptu do dumb stuff. Impromptu. Nobody asked you for it. Nobody questioned you for it. Nobody put a gun to your head and forced you to do it. Allegedly, you just jumped out there on a limb and decided, oh, I'm just going to speak up for all of America. Us. Wow, the world is questioning your involvement with your husband. You're going to speak up for us in America. You know, the entire world. Because you're tired of being picked on. So, yeah, she reminds me so much of Sarah Newland because she shows one thing on the outside, but if you're not paying attention, you can't see the darkness that she's harboring on the inside. See, in True Blood, Sarah Newland sacrificed her husband, and she was willing to sacrifice him for her cause so she can rise to the top and be the leader. What was Erika willing to sacrifice so that she can rise to the top? That's my question. Hold on one second, because there is something I want you to see. I had to wait till this downloaded, y'all. It was so much going on. I said, oh, and it didn't want to download in time. Hold on. All right, check this
Please
out.
give a warm welcome to Mrs. Erika Kirk.
Just a flashback. We covered this a little bit before, but I just wanted to remind you of this wonderful entrance at the memorial service of her husband with the sprinklers and sparklers. And, you know, the people were cheering and screaming for Erika at a memorial service. Y'all can say a whole lot of stuff about what happens at African American, you know, our Mocha team memorial service, but I ain't never seen sparklers and streamers. Ever, never, never, ever. Never. She ain't even walked up to the mic yet. She's standing back, taking it all in herself, thinking about everything that she was told backstage. Erika, this is your moment to not miss your chance to glow. This opportunity comes once in a lifetime. You better lose yourself. Can y'all imagine if Eminem was playing in the background? No tears. Told y'all before. All this black around her eyes, baby, that black should have been streaming all the way down her face. No tears. No tears. I don't think this was Scarface was talking about when he came out with the song. I really don't. But it fits. Now the funeral is over and all the tears are dried up. Y'all, this is America. This is what I need to start naming this segment. This is America. Look at those eyes. You got this, Erika. You can do it.
God bless all
All
of
you have to do is just smile. Give them that smize. You know, the smize. Just smize, Erika. You're pretty. They're going to believe anything that you say. Just breathe. Take your time. This is your moment, Erika. Everything. The marriage, the engagement, the dating, everything has led up to this moment, Erika. Lights, camera, action.
For coming here from all over the world to honor and celebrate my Charlie. Just a few miles from here, 2 years ago at America Fest 2023, Charlie delivered a speech on stage for our TPUSA Faith event. Charlie loves speaking off the cuff. He was very good at that, without a script. So I personally didn't know what he was going to say. And what he chose to speak about that day was his submission to the will of God.
You got to know that you got the glow. You got the glow to grow. And if you got the glow, then you got to know you got to move to the upper flow. Hey, hey, hey. If you know, you know. This is comical, and it's even more comical because we're not even paying attention. That's the sad part. We're just letting all of this stuff happen. Just how you just gonna let someone drive you in circles? How are you just gonna let somebody lie to you in your face? Have you can look at the sky and tell it's blue, and you gonna let them tell you it's green, and you like, yeah, well, it do look kind of green. They are lying to us because they think we're dumb. Because majority of us came out of the pandemic a little illiterate. They think the mass majority of us are still illiterate or illiterate adjacent. That they can just tell us anything and we just gonna believe it because we so stuck up and hung up on color and Democrat versus Republican. What we are put it in chat for the people who don't know. We meocrats. That's what we are. We not Democrat, we not Republican, we don't choose a side, we choose a standard. We are meocrats. I opt out. I opt out from the male bovine feces race because the male bovine feces race is what created what you see on the screen. And for those of you who do not know what male bovine feces is, it is bullshit.
One of his favorite Bible verses, Isaiah chapter 6, verse 8. Here I am, Lord. Send me. After Charlie finished, I met him backstage.
You see the look change? See, y'all don't be seeing the changes in her eyes when she does it. Because she has that pretty, she has that Malibu Barbie look. So y'all don't see the changes in her eyes when she speaks. Because you also know that she's a widow. So the only thing that you can hear is the fact that this is a widow speaking. But when you step back and look at what happened to this widow's husband and the way this widow is now behaving when she should be mourning, it makes you question everything that happened before this moment. And it makes you start paying attention to what the widow said in the beginning. Because it'll make sense when you start paying attention to what the widow said the other day. Everything that she does is based around Charlie. Her whole identity is Charlie. If y'all strip Charlie away from her, she would be nothing. Every time y'all get mad at her, every time y'all call her out on what she does, what does she do? She comes out and she uses Charlie. Charlie. That man looked like Mother Teresa now compared to this woman being his wife. My question now is what kind of household did they have before he passed? That's my question. It's my question. Was it peaceful the way she trying to make it seem? Or was it contentious and cantankerous, as the Bible says? A man would rather be on the rooftop than in the house with a cantankerous woman. I can't take her, us. Her or us. What y'all think? But y'all listen, now I want to fast forward.
Please come out. Erika, please come out.
I want y'all to take a look at this embrace because after, and we're going to get into the hug, but after the alleged hug took place, everybody, you know, the maggots, not MAGA. I'm cool with people who want to be MAGA, who want to make America great again. Hell, we all want to make America great again because I don't know where the hell we living at now. I'm in confusion. But the maggots, the trifling ones, you know, let me stop. I've already been partially demonetized on this channel. We ain't got no problem with MAGA. We got problem with maggots. There's a difference. And you know when you're a maggot, because the maggots are the ones who got offended when I just said that. But this video here is going to show you the difference in her embraces, because everybody's, oh, she's just a hugger. Well, I'm a hugger too. But I need you to understand, she doesn't hug everyone the same. Watch this.
Thank you.
They're clapping and applauding because he's introduced her. Look at this. Do you see that? Church hug. Church hug. So, MAGA. See, y'all be getting mad at people because people be throwing out a lot of opinions and feelings. But see, when I be coming to y'all, I come to y'all with receipts. See, you can't get mad at a receipt. You can't. Because the receipt gonna receipt. Now, if she hug everybody the same, then why is she giving Trump the church hug? Why didn't he get the full embrace the same way she hugged J.D. Vance with the hand on the back of the head and going through the hair? Why is it that her hands are positioned in a way that you're keeping him at a distance, even though you're giving him an embrace? Come on now. Let's talk about it. We gonna talk. Look at this. Another side. You see that? You see the distance? There's no connection in there. There ain't none of that. That's space between there. So how is it that y'all gonna say she hugged everybody the same? How? That ain't how she hugged JD. I saw the hug. I covered the hug. Y'all was there when I covered the hug. But Trump ain't getting that hug. Matter of fact, it seems like she's trying to keep him at a distance, like she's almost disgusted. Like, ugh, stay away. Ugh, like, yeah, we got to do this in front of the people, but let's get this over with. Embrace. Touch. You see it. Look, brace. That's to keep him at a distance. Even her face, look at her. Where's all the bright eyes and the smiles? Where's all that? Where's all that? She looks like she's absolutely disgusted with this moment. Find the lie, please. Look at her face. Even her body language right there. Yeah, she put her head on his chest and all that for a second. That still wasn't a JD hug. I'll go with your mama, not me. Do you see the way her body is angled away from him? She's not leaning into him still. That's why you can't pay attention to certain stuff. That little hug on the chest or whatever. Yeah, that was for the camera. Do you see the body language right here? She like brick stiff. She don't look comfortable. She don't look relaxed in this moment. He don't look relaxed. He looked like he just bought her off the auction. You see it. Look, thumbs up. Look at this. What the hell is even that? So you put up the Baphomet symbol? Let's rewind. That's the salute you give. I keep telling y'all, Y'all be listening to all these people talking about God, God, and Lord, Lord, and the Bible. Yeah. Scripture say Satan knows scripture too. Say demons say the name and tremble. That's what it says. Please help me understand why in this moment she's throwing up this symbol. We was taught about this symbol as kids. Matter of fact, if you put the thumb up, when we was kids, if you remove the thumb that she got sticking out and stick that in and leave it as the two fingers, that was the FU symbol when we were children. Why would she be throwing up this symbol? Maybe she's saluting a different God than the ones you know. How about that?
Thank you very much, everybody. Thank you very much, and good luck. God be with you. Thank you.
What God with the symbol she just threw up? Now I want us to check out the Turning Point USA speech. I just want y'all to pay attention to this pattern. And this is why I tell y'all allegedly. Now this came from me and me alone. It's not factual. From everything that I've noticed, it feels to me like it's all a play for Erika and JD. I'm going to keep saying it. That's my opinion. Now you can have your own. You could say, Empress, you tripping. Alright, hey, it's my feeling, not yours. But I feel like from the beginning, it's been a play. When I saw that hug, and we gonna watch this video together. Then we gonna get into David, because we got a whole trip to go through on David. So please, you getting ready to get put on pause so that we can go fill our glasses up and get ready to get into this David update. But I want you to see this because I feel like when I saw this hug, this was a play, the beginning of the play for the White House. And again, I'm saying, even though I'm not a Trump fan, y'all better watch him. This whole shooting at the dinner thing, oh yeah, that's absolute trash. I'm still saying, you telling me you took the president of the United States of these Americas and the vice president to an unsecured location? Please, when? They don't even do that in the movies. But we gonna get into it because I think it's all a play. And I think they need to watch Trump. And I think they need to keep an eye on JD's wife. My opinion. But tell me what you think. Or not, because I don't want the men in black showing up outside your house. But whisper it to yourself. What do you think? You think it's all a play for the White House?
Good evening, Ole Miss. Love you guys too. Oh, it's hard not to cry after watching that. I haven't seen that portion of him saying that video since that day happened. But Charlie, when he came onto campus,
I just want y'all to keep paying attention because once again, you don't see any makeup running. She always crying though. She is the most crying person I've ever seen with no tears. She's sniffling though. But when you're a good actress, you know how to sniffle and you know how to cry on cue. I can do it. But where's the tears? Do you see any coming out of her eyes? Any? Do you see any black? Have you seen any in any of the videos of Erika? Have you seen any makeup running down her face from all of these alleged tears that she's shedding on screen? Let's continue.
He loved to immerse himself in the culture of the campus that he was in. And so, from word on the street, you guys have a chant out there. I hear it's a good one. It's hotty toddy. I love it, but it's a tremendous honor and blessing to be on the stage today, and this is what Turning Point USA is all about. This is what the future of our country is all about, and I want to thank you all also on a personal level for all of your prayers and all of your support, not only for our family, but for the Turning Point USA family, which includes all of you, especially those that are students, part of the Turning Point USA chapter at Ole Miss. So I love you guys, truly. This whole, you guys have no idea how helpful it is to have all of you in my life, because you help me feel even more deeply connected to my husband. And I thank you for that. I thank all of you for that. And I say that also because you guys are the heartbeat of Turning Point USA. You're the heartbeat of this organization, and every time we were at an event, especially one that Charlie was speaking at, he would always ask beforehand, he would always ask Mikey or the team, he'd say, who in the audience is a Turning Point USA chapter leader or a chapter member? And whenever there was a student there, he would stop everything before the event and he would sit down with them. He would ask you what your name is, what you're studying, what is the issues that are going on campus. He would take the time to make sure that you guys knew he was investing into you, into your chapter, into your school, because that was a pulse point for him. And being on campus right now for me is a spiritual reclaiming of territory. And let me explain that, because there is a lot of symbolism in today. It's Wednesday, 7 weeks. And the more that I am coming to grips with the permanency of this nightmare, the more that I'm starting to realize and witness that the enemy, he doesn't want you. He wants your territory. He wants your influence. And when our team asked my dear friend, Vice President...
See, slow. This the weird, twisted, backwards, delusional stuff that they put out. And it sounds good. He wants my territory. Well, in order, okay, let's take it street for a second, right? I know I have some people who are part of the Champagne gang who are trying to be delivered from the street, still in the street, or are completely delivered from the street. Now, you know, in order to take territory, what's the first thing you gotta remove? Let's talk about it. Let me know. Let me know. I've seen Power. Have you seen Power? As a matter of fact, y'all seen the one with Tommy? We gonna have to get into some Power reactions. That's what we really gonna have to do, is jump on some panels and talk about some of these shows like From. Y'all watching From? Let me know in the comments if you watching From. We need to jump on some panels and have some live discussions, because baby, it's a lot going on. First thing you got to remove when you trying to take territory is the person who runs the territory. The Bible says, who goes in a house and doesn't first bind the strong man? Yeah, so you don't know what that means? Okay, you going to rob a house. There is a husband in the house. There's a wife in the house. There's children in the house. Who's going to go in the house and you're going to subdue the children first? You still leaving the daddy to ambush you or run in and take over the situation, especially if daddy is stronger. If you want to control the house, you first control the strong man. Sometimes in a situation, controlling the strong man is controlling the children if you apply enough pressure and oppose enough of a threat. So when she says, I realize the enemy doesn't want you, lies. That is a trick of the enemy. The enemy absolutely wants you, because once he gets you, he has everything attached to you. Get it? See, that's why y'all got to start listening to these people with your golden chapeau on. Start taking everything as a doggone joke, because it really is. And it's even more of a joke that they're using God to try to manipulate and trick people the way they are. That's the crazy part. But let's continue.
President J.D. Vance to speak today. I really prayed on it because obviously it's a very emotional day. But I could just hear Charlie in my heart. I could just hear him say, go reclaim that territory, babe. Go. The battle's already won. God's love conquers. And that's why I'm here today. I'm here because...
Can I ask you a question? And this is just for me. How is the battle already won and your husband was murdered? The battle shouldn't be won till you get justice, right? Why would your husband be telling you that the battle was won when he left? See, y'all don't be paying attention. Y'all gotta listen to what people not saying when they saying what they saying. See, that's the problem. Who in their right mind would come to you after they've been unalive? This wasn't planned. There hasn't been a manifesto or suicide note or nothing that came out that said this man no longer wanted to be on this earth. So because nothing has come out to say that this man no longer wanted to be on this earth, that would lead me to believe that he still wanted to be here. He was in the middle of a speech. So how exactly are you going to come out and say that he said, oh yeah, we're good. Everything's fine. God's love prevails. But you don't have justice for your husband. But you can come out. Hold on 1 second. Hold on. I told y'all, this is what she make me think of. This another one. Did y'all go check out this yet? I told y'all to go ask your parents and your grandparents about a show from the 80s called The V or The Visitors. That's the other person that Erika Kirk looked like with that doggone hat on and that all black. Diana on this screen, that's why you see half of her face coming off. When you scratch them or pull their face, it reveals who they really are. They were lizard people. So all of y'all who think that lizard people is a new concept, baby, they had a whole show devoted to it in the 80s that people was obsessed with. This is who she make me think of. But hold on. Hold on. Give me a second. Here we go. Hold on. She came out with this statement here. And it says, hold on, let me adjust it. The fact that BET is letting that unfunny comedian hosts the BET Awards. Where's all the forgiveness, Erika? Where? Father, forgive them, for they not know what they do. Scripture say no not, but I mean go off, sis. I get it. I get it. You can forgive the man who took your husband in the middle of a speech. The man who was over the organization that you are now running on his name. You can forgive the man that caused him to no longer be here. But you have a problem with a comedian roasting. Do y'all not remember the old school roast from back in the day? The celebrity roast? Do you not remember the celebrity death match? What the hell is wrong with y'all that y'all so doggone sensitive that everybody's sensitive about comedians? Hell, we used to have the National Enquirer till people got too sensitive. Hell, everybody knew everything in the National Enquirer was a lie. But it took one celebrity, too many, to get too sensitive. So She Mad Drewski is going to host the BET Awards because he did a comedy sketch dressed like, baby, they couldn't have handled In Living Color, is all I'm saying. One of these days, we going to have to jump on a live panel and we going to have to go back and cover all of the TV shows that would not last today. We got to. We got to. Archie Bunker, baby, please never cancel. They would have canceled him right after the intro song. Please. Living Color, cancel. Half of our movies. American Pie, baby, canceled. Wait, what was the Revenge of the Nerds? Baby, please. Please. They think they got movies now. Look, our whole catalog of movies. What's the movie with Bill Bellamy? How to Be a Player? Baby, canceled. Canceled. In the first 15, 20 minutes of the movie. Sensitive. All these celebrities, y'all 10 toes down hard. She in all black like she about to go run a caper or something. But then you gonna come right back out and complaining about a comedian. Please. No one cares about when black people are racist. I don't understand how a comedian could be racist doing a comedy sketch. The pain he caused me and my children. Interesting. But the guy who took your husband. I mean, let's get back to him real quick. Erika. Let's get back. Let's get back. A comedian caused you and your children just this inexplicable amount of pain because he did you for you. You mad because a comedian had the audacity and unmitigated gall to show you to you. However, you forgave the man who took the love of your life away. Do it make sense to y'all when I say it out loud? This is why I keep telling y'all, there's a bigger play in play here. And I think the play is for the White House. That's why y'all keep hearing all this 25th Amendment stuff. Watch what I tell you. Well, just watch. If he does the character while hosting, watch what happens. Trust me, does he know a white man owns BET? Why does that even matter? But I thought loved all people. And I'm speaking for America and the love of God, because the Bible and Trump said I have to. So it's all about love and light. That's why I keep telling y'all. Hold on a second. Hold on. Y'all think I'm playing? This is Erika. See, too many of y'all ain't saw True Blood. That's the problem. This Erika. Let me move this up. Hold on.
No way.
Hello, honey.
Oh, Sarah, thank you so much for coming to save me.
Oh, that's good. You're funny as a vampire. You know, you were never funny as a human being.
We had some good times.
Really? Because I don't remember it that way.
Sarah? I'm so fucking scared. What is this place?
You hurt me, Steve. You embarrassed me. And then you disappeared, along with all our friends and all our money.
Yeah, but then you wrote a book about it, which I read, by the way. Didn't paint me in the best light. Seriously?
Mm-hmm.
Wow, that's a huge pay cut, you know.
I do, but what I've realized is you can't affect the kind of change. I mean, the real kind of change that you and I were looking to affect from the pulpit. The truth is, if you really want to do God's work, you have to be in politics.
So y'all trying to tell me that don't sound like Erika? You trying to tell me that don't sound like Erika? Matter of fact, you trying to tell me she don't kind of favor Erika and he don't kind of give you Charlie? I ain't even look up how old True Blood is. But the whole Temple of the Sun, Turning Point USA, light, she talk about light, they both talk about God, but underneath there is a darker agenda. And as you just saw, she was in a position to run it after her husband allegedly met an untimely demise, in his case of becoming a vampire. Hold on one second. Avoid. Oh, I can't play it no more, y'all. YouTube don't like the fact that I play True Blood. Yeah, so what y'all think about Miss Erika? Now, we gonna get into her some more because we also have to introduce into the situation the whole Nicki Minaj aspect of it. So we're definitely gonna get into some more Erika. But I want you to go do your own research, and I want you to watch some videos and pay attention to her eyes. Not only that, I want you to pay attention to what she says. Our grandparents told us the eyes are the gateway to the soul. That's why they told you don't trust people that can't look you in the eyes. Generally, you can tell if somebody's lying by looking in their eyes. You can tell if they're empty by looking in their eyes. You can tell if they really mean what they say and if they're genuine by looking in their eyes. Why would a girl as pretty as Erika want to hide her eyes by so much dark makeup? Why? I don't know. Maybe because of the reason I told y'all the other day when we went live. It's a makeup trick. She doesn't have to squint as much to give y'all that alluring, innocent look that she gives, because the dark eyeshadow and eye makeup hides what she's really doing with her eyes. She would have to work twice as hard to give y'all that same look if she did not have that makeup on, because black obscures. When I smile, my eyes almost turn into a squint. So if I put on black eyeliner with black eyeshadow and did a completely smoked out look around my eyes, when I smiled, even though my eyes would still be squinted, they would look like they're closed because of the eyeshadow that I have on. This is all a makeup trick. It's all a makeup trick to give you the illusion of an emotion. I would really love to know, like I told y'all before, whatever hotel they stayed in, did they have any neighbors in the room next to them? Did they hear any arguments, any conversations? What was said before Charlie checked out of here? Because I don't like none of her communication since he been gone. And I don't know nothing about Charlie Kirk. Let me put this on the table for all of y'all. I do not know anything about Charlie Kirk. I didn't know who Charlie Kirk was before he was assassinated. That's when I found out who a Charlie and an Erika Kirk were. So I'm talking to y'all strictly from her behavior and from what happened, not from hearing any of his speeches, any of his stances, any of that. I don't know none of it. All I know is what people have said at this point. I haven't heard any of it. Not one. But her behavior right now, baby, she got my spidey senses tingling. And I feel like it's all a ploy for the white. All roads lead to Washington, D.C. that is. But y'all let me know what y'all think. Y'all ready for the next case? Let's go. So y'all listen. We need to get into some of these David updates. Now, y'all know the last time that we covered the show, we actually discussed the full autopsy report. So if you want to see or hear the full autopsy breakdown, please go to the last live that we did, and you'll be able to see the autopsy breakdown. Skip past the first half if you're new to the Champagne City. A lot of times we do a Joker's Wild. That's so that we can relax and chill and get giddy before we get into our serious shows. So that's generally going to be 30, 45 minutes, maybe an hour. Then we get into our main show. So if you want to get into the autopsy breakdown, please skip. I do have to go back and add the timestamps, but you can catch the full breakdown, okay? Matter of fact, the last two, because it took us 2 lives to cover that. Today, we're going to be getting into the court filing. So we may be dealing with a lot of the gruesome details. So trigger warning, please. Trigger warning. Hold on, y'all. Hold on. Of course it don't want to show up. Of course it doesn't. Hold on. Sorry. We can do it this way. Oh, that's interesting. Y'all, when I tell you it ain't nothing showing up. Hold on. Oh, that's what happened. Yeah, I am way too medicated right now. Please don't worry about me. There it goes right there. All right, let's get into it. Let me move my Cash App out the way. For those of you who do want to support the channel, I am a one-woman show. So everything that you see, the backgrounds, the transitions, this whole show, everything is created, edited, designed, everything by me. So if you want to support the channel so that I can keep giving you all this wonderfulness, you can hit the Cash App. We are not monetized. You know, YouTube does not like the fact that I guess I decided not to use their 2-minute countdown on my lives. And I had the audacity and the unmitigated gall to create my own 2-minute countdown. So, you know, they said that my content is inauthentic because I'm using content over and over to get likes, clicks, and views. And I ain't gonna stop using it. So I guess we gonna remain unmonetized, I guess, with our unauthentic ass. So please consider supporting the channel. I would greatly appreciate it. If not, baby, your like and your view and you just being here is more than enough. You can also go hit and check out the Champagne City store, the Champagne Factory. We do have our Mia Kratz gear in there. Please go pick it up. Send me some pictures to champagnesecrets@gmail.com when you get your gear. And I promise you I'm going to drop it on the channel, all right? Let's get into this. And again, please remember, trigger warning. All right, so Superior Court of the State of California for the County of Los Angeles. People briefing regarding preliminary hearing evidence. Okay, so the background facts. The dismembered body of 14-year-old Celeste was discovered in the front trunk of the defendant's Tesla on September 8th. The vehicle had been towed 3 days prior from, you see the address, which was parked approximately 400 feet from the defendant's home. And 1368 Donny Place in Hollywood Hills. You know, that's how we pronounce, you know, that word over here. We did in the beginning, and I do still have to create a playlist for all the David and Celeste videos. But y'all know we did the deep dive and we went and looked at the Google Maps at that location and the house and the car that was sitting there. And it was kind of like a eerie feeling because you're wondering while you're looking at the picture whether or not her body was in that vehicle at that time. That's the crazy and the sad part. Surveillance video and other evidence confirmed the defendant was the last person to drive the vehicle on July 29th, 2025, before he left Los Angeles on a concert tour. Okay, so now I'm confused. And we're going to have to go now pull back up the private investigator because the private investigator stated he could see who the driver of the vehicle was, and he did not state it was David. He alluded to the fact that it was someone else. So if they're saying that he was the last person to drive the vehicle on July 29th before he left LA, so are you saying the vehicle sat there from July 29th until it was towed in September? And nobody smelled? That doesn't make sense. This case is pissing me off because I feel like they trying to insult my intelligence. So, because what you're insinuating here is he did all of this to her by himself. Nobody else was there. He put her in the car. He left the car July 29th and he went on tour. And okay, let's continue. Yeah, so then they jumped to September 8th. So you have a whole missing chunk of time that you haven't accounted for in this complaint between July 29th and September 8th. You don't have anybody saying they smelled anything, they saw anything, they touched anything. So you're telling me in this affluent ass neighborhood that a car as dirty as the car that I showed y'all sat there from July 29th, as many Karens as y'all got roaming around, y'all telling me that car sat there from July 29th to September 8th and nobody complained? It wasn't told before that moment, and it was that filthy in that neighborhood. Male bovine feces, for those who don't know, bullshit. Account for the time. If I was the defense attorney, I'm asking the prosecutor, well, what happened between July 29th and September 8th? What happened? The car sat there? Did it move? Did it transition? Somebody should see if it rained between July 29th and September 8th, 2025. So nothing happened. Nobody complained of it. Just sat there, and just one day somebody just randomly walked past on September the 8th, oddly, just of all days, September 8th, and said, oh, abandoned car. Let me call and tell them to tow the vehicle. Do it make sense to you? Y'all, the golden chapeau is on the screen. We got to put on our thinking caps. She's defending David. No, I'm not. I ain't said that not one time. But what I'm telling you is they're going to have a hard time proving that David did this on his own, is what I'm saying. There's a whole lot of gaps. You can have a whole lot of evidence. That evidence still has to connect back to a person. Otherwise, all of your evidence is circumstantial. All of it. I haven't read this document, so maybe the circumstantial is going to go from circumstantial to factual positive as we go on. But what did I tell y'all? I am a person who believes in the law of first mention. And if the first thing we start mentioning seems a little off or wrong, then chances are the items after it may be a little off as well. You can't put together a house with the foundation wrong and expect the house to be right. You can't. It might be cute. It might stand up for a little while. But that foundation is still going to do what a foundation do when it's off. But let's continue. That's just my opinion. Surveillance video and other evidence confirmed defendant was the last person to drive, right? Before he left. That's what they say. September 8th, the manager of the tow yard where the Tesla was impounded noted a strong smell of decay and the presence of flies coming from the vehicle. So if there was a strong odor of decay, and if there was the presence of flies, wouldn't there have been the strong odor of decay and the presence of flies when the, quote unquote, mystery person walked past the vehicle and noticed that the vehicle was abandoned? I'm not a zoologist. I'm not a larvae specialist. I don't even like going to funerals, so I damn sure don't work with the deceased. But I'm just saying what I'm saying. You're telling me that just soon as it got to the lot, so y'all, no tea, no shade, y'all. I'm not trying to be funny. You trying to tell me it had a timer on it to go off at a certain time? Something shut off so that it would smell when it got to the tow yard, but it didn't smell between July 29th Y'all, we went through because we said dry ice. What if it was dry ice? We looked up the dry ice. What did dry ice say? 24 to 48 hours, that body gonna start going back to normal. So there's definitely going to start being a smell. We talked about the formaldehyde. Formaldehyde may preserve it longer, but what it said was you would exchange one smell for another. So there would still be an odor, but it would be the odor of the formaldehyde and not the decay. So explain to me then. And they're disputing her being frozen. So if she was frozen, if there was no formaldehyde, if there was no dry ice, how the hell did her body not smell between July 20, June, what was it? July? Hold on, let me go back. Between July 29th and September 8th. How? This is the summer in Hollywood, in LA. Hot. Dry heat. Come on now. But let's continue, because this day story, not mine. He notified LAPD, Hollywood auto detectives. I'm still telling you, I ain't never heard of auto detectives before. Who determined the Tesla was registered to defendant through departmental resources. Again, we learned this story from TMZ, who broke the story that a body was found in David's vehicle, and that body allegedly belonged to that of a 14-year-old Celeste Rivas Hernandez. This came from TMZ before anybody else came out and told us anything. They had a source, and I still want to know, has this source been questioned? Do they know who this source is? And how did this source know who this body was? That's what I want to know. Who determined the Tesla? Okay, we got that. At the tow yard, LAPD detectives opened the Tesla's front storage compartment and observed a black cadaver bag covered in insects. Inside the bag, they discovered a severely decomposed head and torso. A plastic garbage bag beneath the black cadaver bag contained the dismembered arms and legs. However, the victim's ring and pinky fingers on her left hand had been amputated and were not found in the Tesla. So she has fingers removed. Again, reminiscent of MPD Psycho, the anime that he was obsessed with, that a lot of people are comparing what David allegedly did to Celeste to one of his storylines. MPD Psycho stands for multiple personality disorder psycho. Yeah. And we was watching My Little Pony. Strawberry Shortcake, maybe. Muppet Babies. The Snorks. The Smurfs, Voltron, He-Man and She-Ra. Y'all, help me out, because multiple personality disorder psycho. That's what's grabbing and capturing the attention of the youth. Because let's remember, David is 21. Yeah. So he's a baby himself. Let's continue. And they're not found. I want us to remember that. September 16th, Medical Examiner Department positively identified the body from dental records belonging to the victim. Pursuant to the investigation, the robbery homicide detectives determined the victim and defendant met January 22nd when she was 11. Now this is why I have a problem with them labeling the case abuse of a child under 14 and under. No, give it the justice it deserves. She was 11. She was a baby. And again I say, this is why her family gets no sympathy from me at all. Zero, zilch. Cause y'all ain't even try. 11. They began a sexual relationship in November 23 when the victim was just 13. Okay, so January. She turned 12. Okay, well, I guess that would be about right if they started seeing each other January 22nd. Her birthday is in September, so she would have turned 12 in September of 22. September of 23, she would have been 13. So that's correct. He was 18 at the time. So he was 16, 17 when they started talking. A 16, 17-year-old with an 11 to 12-year-old. Diabolical. Detectives learned the victim had been reported missing to the Riverside County Sheriff's Department by her family, who lived in Lake Elsinore, in February and April of 24. Telephonically contacted the defendant on February 17th of 24 after they identified a phone number in the victim's phone records that belonged to him. During the call, defendant claimed he had spoken to the victim last on February 13 or 14, 24. Interesting, around Valentine's Day, but stated he was unaware that she was a minor or that she was reported missing. They advised him that the LA Sheriff's Department deputies would be coming to his home. On that day, the defendant was living at, and it gives the address in West Hollywood Hills. They requested that a welfare check was conducted at the home. Deputies went to the defendant's home that night, 8:15 p.m., and informed him the victim was a 13-year-old runaway. The defendant again claimed he was unaware she was a minor, and he had only met the victim once in person in November of 23. However, defendant showed deputies a yearbook photo of the victim he had on his cell phone. Although he claimed to be unaware of where the victim was at the time, she returned home 2 days later, right? So the police showed up. There's been 2 incidents of her being gone, and she goes home after the deputies show up at his house. Okay? Yeah, I hear you. Empress, see there, they called the police and got... The hell you mean they called the police? Over my 11-year-old, 12-year-old? Baby, bye. No, I don't need the police on this one. Police can see me later. You gonna see me now. Over my 11, 12-year-old? No, I don't need the police on this. Oh, no. Oh, no. Matter of fact, the way the article gonna tell the story. Yeah, no. Yeah, I'll wait for the police. Yeah, I'll wait for them to get there. I'll sport orange proudly over my children. 12, 11, please. Police had to go knock on the door. I don't see nothing in this report about the daddy attempted to go kick the door in. I haven't seen any of that. I haven't seen anything about them showing up to a concert or 3. Nothing. Raising HE double hockey sticks. I ain't seen none of that. Nothing. No, they don't get some sympathy. Let's continue. Despite being informed by law enforcement the victim is only 13, defendant continued to pursue her. After the victim returned home in February 24, her parents took her cell phone away. It's interesting that this keeps falling around February. February is supposed to be the month of love. February is the month where you have Valentine's Day. All of his music is catered around death and no longer being together and loving you so much you're no longer here and unaliving people in his mind. but he didn't think he would do it, but he did. That's his music. But every time she goes home or there's something around her, it's around February, which is the month of love, allegedly. Her parents took her cell phone. He drove to Lake Elsinore and paid a junior high school student in the victim's class $1,000 to give the victim a cell phone defendant purchased so they could stay in contact. Throughout 24, the victim spent a significant amount of time with the defendant, including summer weekends at his home in the Hollywood Hills and traveling with him to Las Vegas, London, and Texas to meet his family. So his family knew what was going on too. So when you start talking about you're putting all of this on David, no, see, now you have other people who have been introduced in here. You got the Hollywood Hills. You got whatever took place in Vegas. How in the hell did she get to London? Please tell me. Don't you need a traveler's permit from your parent? I'm sorry, wasn't she supposed to be missing since, April, according to the parents? So how exactly did she travel with him to London? Did he get her a fake ID? This a lot of traveling for the parents not to have more missing person reports. Because shouldn't they have had one out each time she disappeared? Don't worry, I'll wait. But I heard the daddy came out and said they ain't never took no money. Heard that's what he said. I ain't saying he did, but what I'm saying is, as a parent, how does your child at 13, 12, 14, however old she was, how did she go from your house to Hollywood Hills, which was allegedly, 45 minutes away or so? Ain't that how long it took him to drive? To Las Vegas, to London. You can't even drive there, baby. You need a plane. So that means she was gone for a period of time. You didn't have the police show up at the airport. I know by this time you knew who he was. So when the parents was on here talking about all they knew was she was talking to someone named David, the one who doing the concerts in front of the world, flying, but you didn't know who he was. You couldn't have the police at an airport. You couldn't have found out who his label was and had the police waiting at the label. Hell, you couldn't have had the London police. Baby, I promise you I'd have been on the plane. We would have had a concert that night. What you mean? Let's continue though. Maybe it's just me. Maybe I'm just like that. Over my 10, 11, 12, 13, 14-year-old. Text exchanges between the victim and the defendant contain references to sex, pregnancy, abortion, and the use of Plan B emergency contraceptive. I thought they came out and told us she wasn't pregnant and she's never been pregnant. Why is there discussion about abortions, Plan Bs, and pregnancies and sex and all of that if there was never a baby in the mix? See, this is the confusing narrative that the police put out. This is why it's hard to believe anything that they say now. Because one minute they say one thing, then the evidence comes out and they expect us to forget that you just said what you said. Explicit photographs documenting and corroborating their sexual relationship. November 24, defendant and the victim broke up. Although they continued to communicate, and text messages suggest they also continued to have sexual relations. This is why, the old folk would tell us as young folk, don't start having sex because it opens you up to a world that you shouldn't have been opened up to that young. Yes, a bunch of grown folk that can't handle the hormonal changes and the emotional imbalances that take place down on the inside of you when you have sex. Now imagine a child dealing with that. You got this man, he's nice looking, he's bringing you to his mansion, he cares about you, he's paying people to give you a phone, he doesn't want to leave you alone, he's flying you here, there, and everywhere, you're with him, and you're intimate. Recipe for disaster. And you got parents who don't give a damn. Allegedly. This baby didn't have a fighting chance. April 23rd, 25 is the likely date of the victim's death, and when all her cellular activity ceased. The night prior, April 22nd, 25, defendant and victim engaged in a lengthy argument described in detail in their text messages. The messages reveal the victim's jealousy over defendant's relationships with other women, as defendant led her to believe they had a future together. She became extremely upset and threatened to disclose damaging information about her relationship with defendant to end his career and destroy his life. Ladies, let me tell you something. And we're going to take this away from Celeste so you don't think I'm talking about a child. But let me tell y'all something. Excuse me, I had to drink some water and cut water. Let me tell y'all something. I don't know who convinced y'all. I don't know if y'all watched the Lifetime movie, Network movie. I don't know if you've been listening to Sexy Red. I don't know what it is that you've been listening to that make you think that somehow threatening a man is going to get you what you want. I don't know how, especially when y'all know that y'all dealing with Lululemon, Lionel. You know who you dealing with. You know you dealing with Psycho Sam. You know it. You know you dealing with Beating and Bruising Buster. You know who you got at home. So why is it when you feel like you can't get your way, you feel like you're going to threaten him with disclosing something about him that is either detrimental to him, his life, his safety, his freedom, or it is embarrassing to him? And you think you're just going to be able to walk away. Empress said men should beat women. I ain't told y'all no shit like that. See, this is what I be saying about comprehension. You know, understanding context and culture. No, what I'm telling you is that you understand you dealing with an idiot. So why do y'all press idiots? Why? You know what you're dealing with. You can't threaten to destroy somebody's life and expect to walk away unscathed. But taking it back to the Celeste case, this was a baby. She ain't know no better. And she ain't got no people in her life that's telling her no better. Because if she did, she probably wouldn't have been in this situation. Or she might have been more protected. Because remember, this grooming started at 11. You don't know what she heard, experienced, saw, or whatever between 11 and 13 when they allegedly started being intimate. The messages reveal, the jealousy. Scroll down. Defendant's first studio album was due to be released on April 25th, 25. He had an emerging multi-million-dollar career already in progress. He also had multiple product endorsements which were highly profitable. At approximately 8:40 p.m. on April 23, 25, defendant sent an Uber to transport the victim from her Lake Elsinore home to his residence. They communicated before and during her Uber ride, which dropped her off at defendant's Hollywood Hills home. 10:10 p.m. So the parents didn't know she was waiting on an Uber? They didn't know? Because remember, she's supposed to be missing since April of 24. So they didn't know she was waiting on an Uber, or that the Uber was going to take her to David's. They didn't have the GPS thing on their minor. Especially when they know that she has a habit of sneaking off with this boy. They didn't take her phone and put the GPS tracker on it to see where she was going. But let's continue though. They communicated before and during her Uber ride, which dropped her off at defendant's Hollywood Hills home at 10:10. At approximately 10:30, defendant sent text messages to the victim inquiring where she was. The people contend this was part of defendant's premeditated plan to cover up the unaliving, as she was already deceased at this time. Now, the one thing that they have not said was that he was the only one in the house. But we're going to continue. Maybe it's further on down the line. Knowing he had to silence the victim before she ruined his music career, as she had threatened very soon after her arrival at his home, defendant stickied the victim to death multiple times and stood by while she bled out. At no time did he call law enforcement or 911 or take her to an emergency room to attempt to save her life. Despite knowing she was unalive and her family was trying to find her, the evidence will show defendant lied and claimed he didn't know where she was. In fact, defendant drove to Santa Barbara County immediately after the victim died, attempting to dispose of her property and destroy evidence. At approximately 11:30 p.m. on April 23rd, 25, he drove away from his home as he texted and called the victim's phone asking where she was. Again, these were acts calculated and planned to set up his defense within a very short timeline after the victim's vicious murder. So basically, they're saying that within 20 minutes of her getting there, he had already unalived her. With a knife, something sharp, allegedly, should I say. And he stood by and watched her bleed out. Now, I don't know how exactly they know that. Is it in a diary? Did he put it in a song that we don't know about? I'm not quite sure how they know he stood by and watched her bleed out. That he didn't go do something else, make phone calls maybe, or something else, run out in the backyard and scream at the top of his lungs or something. How do they know that's what he did? As y'all listening to this, I want y'all to listen to this as if you are his defense attorney, right? Because everything in this, the defense attorney is listening to it too. They're also reading it, and they're reading it looking for gaps. So as we're going through this, I want you to look at it through a defense eye and see if there's not enough gaps to say, yeah, no, throw it away. This is a go. We're going to charge him. Or would you look at this and say, yeah, I know this Summer is guilty, but there's too many gaps in what you're saying happened for you to say that it was him and that he acted alone. Right? Let's continue. Because remember, his attorney is saying not only did he not unalive her, but he had nothing to do with her unaliving. No, he had nothing to do with her death. So basically, my defendant did not take this girl's life, but my defendant also had nothing to do with her no longer being here. So they literally covered the whole spectrum of what the prosecutor could come out and say he did. No, not guilty on all charges. Now the prosecutor got to come in and show why his defense is not true. You can't be not guilty because A, B, C, D, E all fit and connect with each other. And when they finish connecting with each other, all the connections connect back to you. You can't have evidence that connects, but it don't connect to him. That messes up your case. Let's continue. 11:30 on April 23rd, he drove away from his home as he texted and called the victim's phone, asking where she was. Again, these were acts calculated and planned to set up his defense within a short timeline. The defendant drove his Tesla north on the 101 freeway to San Marcos Pass Road, SR 154 near Lake Cachuma in Santa Barbara County. He returned home early the following morning on April 24th, 25, before going to a radio interview for the release of his album that week. He sent 2 additional texts to the victim's phone that day, which obviously went unanswered because she was already unalived. April 26th, defendant never attempted to contact her again. So he drove away, went near a lake. They don't know what he did near the lake. Now here's my question, and this is something else that I don't see in this complaint. Are they saying that his vehicle was in the garage and she's already in the front? Or is she in the house when he drives off, attempting to do whatever he did at this lake? Where are they saying she was at? Was the car parked on the street? Because I still need to know how she got in the car. But let's continue. Acts calculated and planned to set up his defense. Okay. The lake. He came home the morning of the 24th. Before going to the radio. Okay. He sent the additional text. She was already gone. After April 26th, he never called her again. Tellingly, defendant subsequently purchased tools to carry out his plot to dismember and dispose of the body. On April 24, 25, he ordered a shovel. Okay, let me go back. 26. Okay, the 24th, he goes to the radio station. I'm just reading through some, y'all. So the 23rd is when he drove off. The 25th is when he ordered. The 24th, is when he ordered the items. So that would mean her body would have to still be in the house. So what did he discard of at the lake? And I wonder if the answer is inside a MPD Psycho story. I might have to go down the MPD Psycho rabbit hole to see if we can find some answers, because a lot of this story, I gotta admit, is starting to sound like the storyline of MPD Psycho. From now they're saying she wasn't frozen. I don't understand how, but that is one of the parts of the storyline of what he did to his wife in MPD Psycho. Removing the ring finger, removing the pinky finger. It is stated there was an issue with her eye, in MPD Psycho, eye issue. Dismembered, even the places the dismemberment took place. MPD Psycho sounds the same. Now, I'm not saying it's the same. I'm saying it's real gateway. It sounds really alike to me. May 1st, defendant ordered and subsequently Amazon delivered 2 chainsaws to his home. So, we're saying, we're going to go back, and maybe this is why she didn't smell. Maybe. So, we're saying, go back. She passed away on the 23rd. 24th, 25th, 26th, right? He stopped contacting her. 27, 28, 29, 30. April have 30 days or 31 days. Is it 30? 30 days. So we're talking about 8 days. So you're saying her body sat in the house in a blue pool that's cut up in the garage, and for 8 days just sat there, because she's not cut up to May 1st, right? Just there? Is that what we saying? But nobody smelled anything between April 23rd and May 1st? This is 8 days worth of decomposition. But you're saying she wasn't frozen? I'm going to have to do some research to find out what could have been used to preserve her body. Because she's not cut up. She ain't cut up. So what could have been used to preserve her body for 8-9 days until he decided to what? And I'm sorry, we still got extra days, because as it continues, there was the 2 chainsaws. On May 5th, the defendant ordered and Amazon delivered a body bag, a heavy-duty laundry bags, and a blue inflate. Oh, so she ain't even in. I forgot the chainsaw. She ain't even in the pool yet. So she's just laying there, decomposing. And the neighbors haven't complained. I need y'all to remember, this is a very affluent neighborhood. The neighbors haven't complained. In all this time, the manager hasn't stopped by. His manager, no friends. It looks like he's an extremely social person. So he hasn't told anybody anything since April 23rd. So you're telling me when her communication stopped, his did too? Nobody popped up to kick it, to do nothing. Just, okay, let's continue. He made these purchases under the fake name Victoria Mendez. On April 8th, defendant returned to the same area in Santa Barbara County, leaving his home at 11:30 p.m. He returned to the area again on May 31st. This is an isolated site where the victim's identification was subsequently discovered in January of 2026. Additionally, on July 7, 2025, the defendant ordered and subsequently Amazon delivered a burn cage to his home under the fake name as part of its plan to incinerate evidence. Moreover, defendant took horrifying measures to destroy and discard the victim's body. After placing her body into the blue inflatable pool to prevent her blood from spilling onto his... See, that doesn't make sense. I need some forensic specialists in here. The blood would not spill. She's been deceased. Hold on, I need to talk to ChatGPT, y'all. Hold on. Talk amongst yourselves for a second. Better yet. Is he gonna let me show it to you? Hold on. See if y'all can see this. Okay. How should I ask this question? Yeah, how should I ask this question? Look, it's not giving me anything on how she could have been preserved, but it sounds like a case. Okay, I'm gonna ask it that way. Yo, what was the day he unalived her? Hold on 1 second. Was it April? April 23rd. Thank you. It's a lot of moving parts, y'all. Lord. Okay. April 23rd. Okay. It's thinking. So, here's the answer. Hold on. I'm going to turn it on so y'all can see it. So I asked it, looking into the Celeste Rivas case, if David unalived her April 23rd, but he didn't dismember her until May 5th, would there be blood? Potentially yes, but maybe not in the dramatic crime scene movie way people imagine. A lot would depend on the condition of the body, temperature, where the body was kept, and what happened between April 23rd and May 5th. So after death, the heart stops, so you no longer get active bleeding the way a living person would. But the body still contains blood and bodily fluids. Over time, the blood settles due to gravity, decomposition begins, tissues break down, and fluids can leak or purge, which is what they were talking about in the bag. Internal gas buildup. If dismemberment happens around 12 days later, there could absolutely still be residual blood, dark decomposition fluids, tissue fluids, staining, seepage into flooring fabrics, transfer evidence on tools, clothing drains, etc. But the blood might appear darker instead of bright red, thicker or partially coagulated, mixed with decomposition fluid. So this is what my concern is when they say, hold on. So when they say that he did this because he wanted to prevent her blood from spilling onto his garage floor, yeah, the blood wouldn't spill in that same way because it doesn't still have oxygen pumping through it. So it's not going to be the blood that you would get if you cut your hand or something. I don't know. Let's go though. After placing her body in a blue inflatable pool to prevent her blood from spilling onto his garage floor, defendant used a chainsaw, which is crazy because, if she has all of the blue pieces within her limbs, that would mean you cut through the pool. So wouldn't there still be residue on your floor? But let's continue. Defendant used a chainsaw and perhaps other tools to cut off her limbs. Small blue plastic fragments were found embedded in the victim's remains, which were collected by the Los Angeles County Medical Examiner's Department. The fragments were analyzed by LAPD's Forensic Science Division Trace Analysis Unit. An expert was able to make physical fit match from the blue fragments to the blue inflatable pool purchased by defendant May 25. In order to distance himself from the victim, he amputated her left ring and pinky fingers because her ring finger contains a tattoo of his name. Her fingers have not been recovered. Defendant then placed her head and torso into a cadaver bag he purchased. He placed her limbs into a garage bag, which he deposited into his front trunk, laying the cadaver bag on top. For several weeks or possibly months, the defendant left the victim's body to decompose inside his Tesla. He lied to friends, business associates, and others who noticed a strong smell of decay in and around his home and vehicle. This is why I don't understand why neighbors didn't report anything. Before leaving on his concert tour at the end of July, he parked his Tesla on the street around the corner from his home. LAPD served a search warrant on the defendant's home at 1368 Dorney Place on September 17th, 25. Again, I say I'm not understanding why he went on tour in July. What happened between July and September? That's what I really want to know. LAPD served a search warrant at defendant's home, and you see it there. After the defendant was identified by the Los Angeles County Medical Examiner on September 16, 2025, inside the garage, detectives discovered evidence consistent with the dismemberment of the victim's body in the inflatable pool, which contained multiple linear coats. Several biological samples, which tested positive for blood, were collected within the garage area. DNA analysis determined that various samples matched the victim's unique genetic profile. On December 9, 25, the medical examiner ruled the victim's death a homicide caused by 2 penetrating injuries to the torso. Now remember, she was found in September. They did not declare it a homicide until December. And I really would like to know, and I didn't get the answer from the medical examiner's report, what happened in December to make you say, now we think it's murder. Why didn't you think that in September with the evidence you had? That's confusing to me. And even when we covered the medical examiner's report, if you remember, what did they say? He said in there that he was saying that those 2 marks were the cause of death in the absence of any other cause of death. So I can't emphatically say this is the cause of death, but I'm going to label it as the cause of death because right now we ain't got nothing else to say as the cause of death. So it's got to be this. You know, if you look at it in a roundabout way, you know, in the sand with your glasses on, the bifocal type, and look at it through the magnifying glass inside a glass filled with water held up to the sky. In the sun, you can quite a little bit see exactly how we think these 2 wounds are the murder weapon. It's really basically what he's saying. Because if he really felt like it was, why didn't he just come out and say, these are the murder weapons? Why? Evidence. The people will present the following evidence at the preliminary hearing, including but not limited to the description of photographs depicting the victim naked, as well as while she was engaged with the defendant in sexual activity when she was 13. As the evidence constitutes sexual abuse material, the photographs themselves will not be presented. While all possible charges that could be proven were not filed, the CSAM is proof of their ongoing sexual relationship while the victim was 13 and 14 years old. The defense is going to argue, show us the proof. Has the judge seen the proof? This is what I want to know. Or is there just descriptions of the proof? Numerous text messages between defendant and victim evidencing their sexual relationship, pregnancy, abortion, and use of Plan B emergency contraception. So she was pregnant. So they lied to us. They told us she wasn't pregnant. There was never any signs of her ever being pregnant. Messages through March 25 proved defendant continued to manipulate the victim. As she messaged, all we do is have sex and just hang out. Man, I want more than that for myself. These messages were obtained from the defendant's iCloud data. So apparently the family was taking the phone but not going through it. They, just holding on to it for a few hours and handing it back to her. Not checking on what your child is doing with the phone, especially when you already know that your child has been intermingling with an adult. Defendant's cellular activity and communications derived from defendant's iPhone and Tesla, which demonstrate defendant's activities from April 22nd, 25 to April 24th, 25, including a trip to Santa Barbara County in the middle of the night after the victim arrived at his Hollywood Hills home. Surveillance video of defendant driving his Tesla on July 29, 25 for the last time before parking the vehicle and leaving on tour at the end of July. DNA evidence developed from blood stains collected from defendant's garage, which matched the victim's genetic profile. Proof of defendant's Amazon purchases and deliveries to his residence, including 2 chainsaws, body bag, an inflatable pool, heavy-duty laundry bags, and a burn cage, April 24th. Proof of defendant's purchase, hold on y'all. Proof of defendant's Amazon purchases and deliveries to his residence, thank y'all for holding, including 2 chainsaws, a body bag, an inflatable pool, heavy-duty laundry bags, and a burn cage, April 25th. Proof of defendant's purchase and delivery from, Postmates, of a shovel from Home Depot to his home on April 24th, 25. Uber records showing defendant's transaction where he ordered an Uber to pick up the victim from her Lake Elsinore home and transport her to his residence the night of April 23rd, 25. Proof of defendant's lucrative career as a singer and songwriter prior to April 23rd, 25. Defendant had an album release party on the night of April 24th, 25, before embarking on an international tour late July of 25. Text message exchanges between defendant and the victim on April 22nd and April 23rd, 2025, where the victim threatened to expose defendant and destroy his career. So the conclusion. This brief is filed to assist the court in understanding the scope and relevance of evidence the prosecution intends to present at the preliminary hearing. The prosecution has issued numerous subpoenas and is prepared to proceed with the preliminary hearing. The defense has had multiple opportunities to request a continuance, but has not done so. Furthermore, California Penal Code requires the defense to provide at least 2 court days notice to request a continuance. In view of the limited scope of evidence to be presented at the preliminary hearing detailed in this brief, there should be no substantial impediment to moving forward with the hearing as scheduled. So basically what they're saying is majority of what they're talking about happened within this document. They're not presenting majority of this during the preliminary hearing. They're only presenting it if it goes to trial. That don't even make sense to me. So they're saying that there's no reason why the defense shouldn't want to go ahead and go along with the preliminary hearing because they're not even presenting that much evidence in view of the limited scope of evidence to be presented at preliminary hearing. So again, it goes back to when we watched and listened to him do the press conference and he said, yeah, y'all, listen to what I'm saying, but don't listen for real because none of this is going to be presented. And I looked at y'all and said, say what now? So you done arrested this man based on all this evidence. But you saying you not going to present the evidence to the preliminary hearing to determine whether or not you going to go to trial with it? Y'all keep telling y'all they think we dumb. I don't know. I'm so lost and confused. I didn't even know it was possible for you to arrest a person based on evidence, but not present that evidence in the preliminary hearing, but present a document in the preliminary hearing that discusses all of the evidence that you're not going to present, right? For the judge to decide in the hearing whether or not you're going to go to trial with the evidence you didn't present. Yeah, we can't make this stuff up. These garbage pail kids is cutting up in 2026. They just doing anything and calling it the law. Y'all, this is definitely a Uno reverse. Y'all hang it up. Just stop doing stuff to get in trouble, because at this point, the court doing what they want to do. I'll go with your mama, not me. At this point, the court is doing what they want to do. Because since when you gonna arrest me on some evidence, but you not gonna use the evidence for them to hold me and determine that you gonna go to court based on the evidence you not presenting? Please. But y'all, let's continue, because we got somewhere else I need to go. Yeah. Garbage pail kids. That's what they all are. They're all a bunch. The sewer rat pack. That's definitely what they are. All of the politicians, the judicial system, it's all broken. And I really don't know why we keep expecting anything else. Because I can't get excited over circumstantial evidence, especially evidence that you keep saying you're not going to present. So what am I supposed to get excited about you presenting that's going to potentially get justice for this baby girl who's no longer here? Yeah, I don't know, because you're not presenting it. So we need to go to, hold on 1 second. Here we go. Yeah, I wanted to show y'all this real quick. I was supposed to do this first, but I forgot. So now I've never listened to this woman. I can't tell you who she is. I've seen Tasha K talk about her a lot. Matter of fact, that's how I found out about her, is because of Tasha K. And when I saw her, I'm looking like, cause this ain't Jamal's wife, is it? This ain't that Bryant, right? Is this Jamal Bryant wife? Oh, okay. So maybe I do know who she is. I thought she was somebody different. But listen, I ain't never heard her speak. Like, they say she a doctor. But here's the thing. Apparently somebody done did some digging, and they came out and found out that she ain't even a real doctor, y'all. She says that she's a psychology expert. Now listen, shout out to the Jasmine brand. Dr. Cheyenne Bryant is responding to criticism about her credentials, and she's making it clear she doesn't believe she needs a license. But you do need something to call yourself a doctor, though. How you calling yourself a doctor with no doctorate credentials? I think the people who done spent years and years in college would be a little offended by you just coming out calling yourself a doctor, but you not one. They didn't even give you an honorary doctorate from the college. Because you know they did used to give out those, the honorary doctorates. You didn't even get one of those to be able to call yourself a doctor. She don't need a license because she's not a therapist. You're not, but you're a psychology expert. You're trying to diagnose someone's psyche, which would low-key make you a therapist. People so slow gets on my nerves. I am a psychology expert and a life coach. That's where, see, this is where y'all gonna start messing it up. I keep telling y'all, we can't have nothing without somebody coming in and messing it up. Y'all always know how to screw up a good thing. Coaching was developed for people who have a specific skill set, who want to be able to enlighten and uplift others and undergird others on their journey to that skill set, right? I am a personal vision coach. Do you know what I do? I take individuals and I help them create a vision for their lives, for their vision, business, whatever. And I help them create the action plan to bring that vision or that goal to pass. Right? In essence, you do not need a license to do that because you're teaching people based on your experience. But when you come out saying you're a psychology expert, do you know how many years people go to school to be able to understand psychology? A life coach. See, here's the problem. I don't too much do a lot of vision coaching anymore. I'm gonna get back into it. Promise you I am. Because some of y'all spirits need to be uplifted. And the problem is majority of y'all just don't have a vision. That's the problem. You ain't got no direction. So you just going around in circles. And you getting frustrated because you feel like you in this rat race. Right? But when you come out and you talk about you are an expert in something, and you put doctorate behind your name, she did that because she knows that people are going to flock to someone because they have doctor behind their name faster than they would flock to me, and all I have is 1,000 or so subscribers. Not even realizing that the person with the 1,000 or so subscribers may have the key to the door that you need to unlock to be able to make all the rest of your dreams come true. But the one with the doctorate behind their name ain't gonna do nothing but steal your money. And they, for the most part, ain't doing nothing but stealing their information from, the little people running around with the 1,000 subscribers. Yeah. So now she's trying to defend the fact that she's been caught up. You said you were a doctor. The people even came out and said the so-called school that she claims she went to, the school is closed, child. School is closed. And they ain't even give her no doctorate at that school. They ain't give her an assistant doctorate, a pretend doctorate. She wasn't even the assistant to the doctorate. At all. So the people in the comments, I think what she's saying is that she's no different than Dr. Dre. No, Dr. Dre was a doctor of music. He definitely was. Those credentials, everybody. See, you can not like Dr. Dre. And Dr. Dre was a doctor when it came to putting them beats together. Come on now. Somebody could have just handed him a doctorate in music just because. Psychology expert, where can I find her peer-reviewed studies? As a licensed therapist, my question is, who is designating you as an expert? Exactly. Because if there are no external bodies or individuals making that determination, we can all be anything with that logic. This is what people don't understand. But see, a lot of y'all are out here following a lot of these. Simply because, what did I tell you? They sound like they have it. They give you that city girl, pretty girl look. Everybody want to follow a city girl, pretty girl. Because it allows you to live vicariously through them. So you want to follow the girl who looks like what you want to look like. So you going to find the one with the BBL, with the breast lift, with the little waist, look like she ready to go on a hot girl summer. You want to go listen to her because she's probably going to feed into your level of toxicity. She ain't going to tell you the truth. She going to tell you what you want to hear. She's going to feed your ego. But what y'all think about the doctor not quite being a doctor? What y'all think? I think Dr. Seuss might be a tad bit offended. But y'all, let's get back into David. Where do I want to go here? It's so much on Reddit. Goodness gracious. So let's go to David's Reddit page. Majority of this was from 8 months ago. So a lot of this stopped 8 months ago. People were talking about why hadn't he been arrested. They were talking about how he changed his bio to shh. And I hate that because y'all know that's our symbol. Celeste wanted to abort. There was a whole thing on Reddit that they felt like this deleted user account is actually Celeste's account. So anytime they saw this deleted user account on Reddit, especially under one of David's posts or anything having to do with David, they thought it was Celeste. This what they was talking about. He was the sole moderator on his channel, so he was deleting his own posts. When this first broke, of course, a lot of people went to David's Reddit, to his social medias, to see old photos, to see if there was anything that made sense about what they were saying, and stuff started getting deleted. Even a lot of stuff that we've used to cover. When I tried to go back so that I could show it to you, it was deleted. A trio of losers. David ain't the age for Discord, like 15, liking minors, emoji. 11 is too old for me. Carp, it is not on the clock. I don't want it. If it is not on the clock, I don't want it. So people are pointing out people who were connected to David that maybe they all like minors. One of the big ones was this emoji character. Showed up a lot. He didn't know she was 11. The guy had a handful of girls that looked like her at his parties and one decoy with the same name. He knew and kept trying to hide her identity because of it. He is a pedo by definition, allegedly, because I don't want to get sued. I can't with people trying to defend the pedophilia. It ain't even about whether she looked of age or not. He literally knew her age. Can't convince me whoever run in the group didn't know minors were in the group in Discord. So it says, welcome to Rose. Age Rose reacting to this message with the following emoji to get a certain role that will show everyone your age. React to this message to get a plus 18 role. React to this message to get a minus 18 role. So apparently you're able to set up roles and you can set them up by ages. So this person is saying there's no way he knew he didn't know she was a minor because the page is set up to be able to recognize the minors. It's set up in the roles. However you come into the page. Are you under 18 or are you over? Unless there's a way to select over 18 even though you are under. That I don't know. Not as familiar with Reddit. David's mod had a parasocial relationship with Celeste and David, but now claims she didn't know her. Reposted a TikTok that mocks Celeste's death. For Sophia. I don't want to say too much, but he did. Like, I gotta watch out for what I say. It's just crazy because me and David had been friends for a while. How the F did no one ever say anything about it? I was never in here often. I barely knew her existence. Sophia said, me too. Low-key didn't even know David knew a girl named Celeste. Didn't know she was in the server either. He knows multiple, Zerk said. Sophia says she barely knew of Celeste's existence. It's kind of crazy because she was the same mod who was explaining to someone that Celeste and whoever that is were different people, which we now know is not true. I saw a message that Sophia left after all the news initially came out saying that she warned David about potentially getting in trouble in the future. Not sure why she's backtracking all of this now. Because she's trying not to get arrested, of course. And again, this is her page. So, again, sad talk, 5 stages of grief, hopelessness. Lord, just, jeez. Yeah, some of y'all need vision coaching. Because if y'all turned on and excited about it, y'all music go from one extreme to the next. Y'all music is either talking about fighting, fucking, or murdering. It's one of the three. Y'all don't have a happy medium. You don't have a place of detox, of love. See, our music back in the day, we had modes. We had the heavy metal. We had the love ballads. We had the bedroom ballads in all different genres. Y'all music is just one or the other. I'm so confused as to why this kind of music excites y'all. Y'all lives already depressing. Why do you want to hear depressing music? Music is supposed to take you away. Calgon, take me away. Yeah, that's what music is supposed to do for you. Y'all music too up close and personal. Y'all feel hopeless in life and you want to listen to hopeless ass music. How you ever gonna change your thought process? What you feed the most is what will reign the most, my darling. So at some point, if you would like for your mind, your heart, and your soul to change, you have got to change the things that you listen to, my dear. The things that you embed into your spirit, your mind, and your soul, my loves. Because if all you're playing is the 5 stages of grief, damn it, you're gonna cry. Goodness gracious. Her profile. Somebody from Lake Elsinore. Let's check this out. Allegedly, the boyfriend did it, like I said. Oh, Jesus. Witch talk. Here we go. I live in Lake Elsinore, 5 to 10 minutes away. There was so much more going on. Her family knew he was with her since she was 11. They didn't care. All they cared for was the money given to them. Now remember, the family said they did not receive any money. Allegedly, this is what the daddy said. Unfortunately, she was reported missing in 24, but they all knew where she was. Even her friends, quote unquote, extorted David with money so they wouldn't say where she was staying. I think the mom should be responsible too for allowing a child to move in with a boyfriend at that age. It's too many things, just like a rabbit hole. There a lot more than what is being said here in Elsinore. Why that sound like a Lord of the Rings town or something? Lake Elsinore sound like it's got a lot going on. We might need to do a deep dive on Lake Elsinore, because that sound real mythical, mystical, like the elvish people. It sounds like where the Elden people stayed in from Lord of the Rings. Just Lake Elsinore. Come, my darlings, and my love to Lake Elsinore. You never know what might happen at Lake Elsinore. The water is nice. The creatures are friendly during the day, but at night, my darling, you might need to get inside. Lake Elsinore. Don't that just sound like... Don't it sound like it should be in a Jason movie or so? I just don't know. We need to do a deep dive. Because she sound like it's a whole lot more secrets to tell and uncover in Lake Elsinore. That's how we going to say it from now on. But then why did they even report her missing? Someone said. I think because she didn't go to school. She would sneak out at 11. Her neighborhood is horrible. I'm an adult and wouldn't be caught dead walking in the middle of the night there. Then they saw he had money and they became more dependent and sold, because what else can you call that mother that lets her 13-year-old leave the house with someone who's 18 and not care? And 5 to 10 minutes away from Lake Elsinore isn't Lake Elsinore. People have to go out of Lake Elsinore to shop or do anything. That's not small town. I live in San Bernardino, so Riverside, Paris. Is that Temecula? Temecula? Lake Elsinore is backyard-ish. My ex was unalived in Lake Elsinore in 2018. I'm trying to tell y'all, I feel like Lake Elsinore may hold some secrets that we may need to dive into and check out the hidden mysteries of Lake Elsinore. Join me in the Champagne City as we discover what lies beneath. Backyard stuff, y'all. This is getting weird. Stop giving out false narratives about this poor family. You don't know. 5 to 10 minutes from her house. You knew you didn't do anything. You knew and you didn't do anything. What I know is what I was told when it happened. And what could I've done when her mom knew? Her whole family knew. They practically sold her. So just because you were told something doesn't make it true. How dare you slander her family? You have no idea what that family is going through. A lot of Mexican families do allow their daughters to grow up faster than needed because of how poor our families are. So Mafanda, so you're okaying parents selling their children for a financial come up? Because that's just what you said. This is why I keep telling y'all, some of y'all need to learn how to exercise y'all right to shut the fuck up. You really should. Because the more smart y'all try to sound, the dumber some of y'all become. You don't know what that family was going through. A lot of Mexican families sell their children because, you know, they're poor and they need the money. Girl, please. I know a lot of Mexican, Hispanic, Puerto Rican families, and they protect their children. Didn't we just have this discussion? Majority of them die. Hell, didn't we see the white boy get put in the doggone tub in Training Day over the girl? All I've ever seen is extremely protective. Now, maybe it's something that I don't know. All I've ever seen is extremely protective. So what do you mean a lot of Mexican families allow their daughters to grow up faster than needed because of how poor the family is? So basically you allow your kids to whore themselves to grown men just so you can have a come up? Is that what we saying for real? Allegedly? And we wonder why our baby's in trouble. They have been awfully quiet because they know what they did. If that was my child, I would raise all hells on earth since the day that she was reported missing. Exactly, Carmen. But how could they? They always knew where she was and with who. The friends was paid off was false. Nope, the friends are friends in my son's group of friends, and they thought it was funny. What is not funny is how as parents they see their kids with money they didn't give them. Oh, so now I understand why I have that kind of feeling like she was under his control. I think it's awfully crazy as well that your children is coming home with money that y'all didn't give them and you not questioning. I have an absolute serious problem with that. You don't know if your child done robbed somebody. You don't know if somebody gonna come back looking for that money. You don't know if somebody got the drop on your child and where you live at, and they gonna come back and lay all of y'all down just because they played with them. You don't know that. But you allowing your kids to come in with shoes, with clothes, with... See, I keep telling y'all, different generation. My mama told us, don't you come in this house with something I ain't pay for. We came in with a so-called borrowed shirt. Take it back. You don't know where they got that from. If they done stole it from somebody and somebody done called the police looking for it, you the one caught with the merchandise. You the one going to jail. See, that's what they taught us as kids. Are y'all teaching y'all kids anything these days? Y'all talk about Gen X. But baby, we was taught. Oh, I bet you we learn what to do and what not to do. I promise you that. Hell, y'all still learning y'all bodies and how to spell and count. Write in cursive. There's more to the story, but it's not much I can say about it. Just that the mom should be responsible along with the rest of her family that allowed it to happen. Let me go up. Kiki says, girls, this track for the IEs, that area is known for parents just letting their little girls run around with older men. It's also a hot spot for trafficking. Yeah, we need to look into Lake Elsinore. I'm going to have to do a deep dive. The mother also apparently isn't here legally. Oh, Lord. David kept threatening to turn her in and have her deported if she told anyone or went to the authorities. He was also paying her hush money so she wouldn't talk. This is according to some of her friends and family. Now, again, I believe the father came out. I don't recall if the father came out and said that he didn't get paid or none of them got paid. No money in the world would make me give my child to someone. She sold her for $10,000 a week. Then he would have gone to jail as well for being on a relationship with a 13-year-old. But that's why he paid. He didn't want to be seen as a pedo. Comment bots repeating the same thing to defend and distract from the real killer of this young girl. They're under every video spreading the same lies and blaming everyone except the guilty one. I'm not saying he's not guilty. He was 16 and her 11 when they started talking. Celeste lied and said she was older. But at 11 years old and being sexually active and talking about it in the group chat, it's a big ass hell no for me. But blame both the mom and him. Who the hell allows a child to whole live with someone else? Absolutely factual. And I'm not even arguing with her. Not at all. Nobody's saying David isn't to blame in this. What we're saying is there's a bunch of other people who should be blamed as well. Same thing I told y'all in the Diddy case, didn't I? Told y'all Diddy ain't the only one should be going down. That's why I'm not covering the case. Unless you bringing out everybody else who's involved in this. Because, I mean, you sent Homeland Security after this man. So unless you bringing out everybody else involved in the case, I don't want to hear it at all. I don't want to hear it. Because y'all BSing. Y'all on some real male bovine feces. Y'all trying to pin all of this on one man. And that's when I told y'all the case wasn't going to go through. Because you can't pin a RICO on one man. A RICO is based on a crime organization. In order to prove a crime organization, you'll have to prove or reveal the individuals that was protecting him. They can't do that, because that's a part of Homeland Security. Get it? But they couldn't just let him go. So we got to get him on something. So we'll get him on being a Playboy pimp since we can't get him on the RICO. Because the RICO brings in, probably those names that Jeffrey Epstein files concealed. Allegedly. But let's continue, because we talking about David. We'll get back to that. He would have gone to jail as well for being in a relationship for a 13-year-old, but that's why he paid. Okay. You're just adding excuses and lies to try to clear your idol. Even if she lied, the responsibility never shifts to an 11-year-old. This is what I say about people understanding stuff in context and culture. No time or period did she ever say the responsibility shifted to an 11-year-old. What she said was that in this culture, apparently in this area, they allow young girls to be fast and cohabitate with grown men for pay. You don't want to use the word prostitutes, call girls, escorts, human trafficking. That's what they're talking about. This is what I hate about people who just want to jump on a comment and comment just to say something. Baby, don't jump in my comments, especially if you don't understand context and culture. Because I promise you, I'm going to get you all the way together. All the way. All the way. Clearing your idol, it has nothing to do with the idol. All it's saying is, if you're going to arrest the person involved, arrest everybody that's involved. No, an 11-year-old can't give consent, but the 11-year-old went willingly and the mother allowed her to. Because apparently, allegedly, according to what's being said in this thread, the mother was benefiting from it. $10K a week type benefiting from it. First of all, I don't know who David is or was. Second and most important, you call the cops and have him arrested. The mom knew all of this and she kept quiet because money was better than her daughter being groomed. I knew more than you think. I live here in Elsinore, very close to her. Why do you think there's nothing in the news? Why is the mom or the family who knew this aren't talking? Exactly. See, knew it. The mom was way too quiet for me. You see, mothers every day lose a child out of their sight and they break down. Her mother let her child go away for however long, and at that got paid to shut up about it. Her daughters, what in the world? Her daughter's breaks. What is that? What is that short for, y'all? I might be way too medicated and it's not working. Because I thought consecration, but yeah. What is that? Completely. This comes up and now she has no comment. Is it guilt? Is she just nervous about getting caught up with involvement? It's all going to come to light. That poor baby was taken advantage of and used big time. Yeah, by everybody. Daughter breaks contact completely. What are you talking about? Here's an adult speaking clearly that he was involved in it, but parents also should be responsible, not only him, because they let it happen. If you didn't understand from the first time, the whole idea, OMG. Yet the brother just stated they all knew she was with. At my knowledge, everyone around her, family and friends knew, but there's not a case. It's just the justice from both parts to be accountable. So y'all, that's the thread. She was only 11. You sick, you know what. How it feels to look at updates and it's just the same being posted over and over again. picture of this baby, and it's real sad to know what she actually went through. So y'all listen, drop in the comments and let me know what you think about this update. We gonna get into some more David stuff. Please and believe it's not over with. We definitely have to get into some more of the Reddits. In the Discord, I do have a news section that has been updated. That has the stuff that we covered today, some stuff that we're going to cover on the other show, probably tomorrow or the day after, because I do want to continue with David, and I do want to look into some more of this Erika stuff. And who knows, I'm probably going to get into some more of this stuff with, what's this town name? Oh, Lake Elsinore, because, hold on, don't even worry about it. Let me just see. Let me give you a prequel. All right, let me see. Hold on. That ain't what I want. Now, I was looking at something else, but this is what pulled up, right? It says the disappear and return pattern. It says one of the eeriest aspects of the case is that Celeste reportedly disappeared multiple times before being gone. It wasn't one single vanishing. According to reports, she had been reported missing several times in 24. It created a strange atmosphere because neighbors would suddenly see missing flyers, then she seemingly reappear, then disappear again. The cycle made it harder for outsiders to understand when the real final disappearance happened, and Reddit discussions have become obsessed with timeline inconsistencies surrounding when she was last truly seen alive. I guess one of the concerning footages, a 7 a.m. security cam footage. One haunting detail people keep returning to. A clip reportedly showed her walking alone around 7 a.m. in Lake Elsinore before one disappearance episode. They said it was a school morning. She appeared calm and she allegedly vanished shortly after. They compared it to what they call the last normal moment phenomenon seen in other missing person cases. Now, here's a crazy thing, right? When we were talking about the whole Lake Elsinore, so apparently Lake Elsinore has a reputation for strange energy, right? It says this is where the goosebumps start to clock in over time. Lake Elsinore has long had a weird reputation in Southern California folklore. Ghost stories, occult rumors, underground tunnels, abandoned buildings, and even monster legends surrounding the lake itself. Locals have talked for years about shadow figures, haunted hotels, satanic activity in the hills. Now remember, allegedly, what's that child name? David went up to Lake Elsinore. He was also on a road that looked like it might have been around some hills or such other. A famous local legend is Elsie, a supposed lake monster said to inhabit the waters of Lake Elsinore. Now let's see. I'm just scrolling through. Basically, they're having Lake Elsinore curse conversations. They're talking about disappearances, troubled youth cases, gang activity, trafficking fears, haunted lore, desert isolation, and the eerie geographical surrounding the Inland Empire. I don't know. We're going to have to look into it. It's quite interesting. I've never heard of Lake Elsinore, nor have I ever heard of the Lake Elsinore curse or the disappearances or the hauntings and all. Look, y'all, I just feel like ain't no place. Ain't no place safe in the U.S. no more. Every place either haunted, or if you go, it's a sundown town, or it's a YN town, or if you go, you ain't gonna make it back out. You go, you can't go to sleep. If you go here, you can't stay awake. If you go here, you ain't getting no darkness. If you go here, you ain't getting no light. Nothing is normal anymore. I'm over the unnormalcy of it all. But drop in the comments and let me know what you think about our stories. Erika Kirk, we gonna get back into her. Because she ain't gonna keep fronting in our face. She ain't gonna keep doing that. Perpetrating around like she really believe in God and love God. While you got the raccoon makeup around your eyes for allure and presentation. Girl, please. Girl, please. Your acting is barely Tubi worthy. I'm doing this for you, Charlie. It's all for you. You were amazing. God said this is for you. You said your work was done. You told me you were ready to go. Girl, stop lying on that man, please. Please stop lying and saying that man said he was ready to go. He was ready to stand up on that stage and have somebody, because we don't know who yet, somebody put a bullet in his neck. Please tell me. Please. And y'all sitting up there clapping and believing it. Get yourself together and do better. Y'all ought to be ashamed saying you know the Lord. Please. Well, you probably do know the Lord. It's probably not the same one I know, though. That's the problem. It's probably the little L and not the big L. Because y'all can't be following Big G and believing and falling for all this foolishness. You got to put on your golden chapeau and start looking through your logical and your critical eye at all this demonic foolishness that's going on in the name of God. I keep telling y'all, I would play it for y'all. But YouTube didn't like me playing the clip from True Blood of the Temple of the Sun. Because I told y'all, that's what Erika Kirk gives me. Go and watch some episodes of True Blood and watch the Temple of the Sun and how they behave. Watch the girl who the leader of the Temple of the Sun on there. That's all you got to do. Just go check it out. And then you let me know if she don't remind you of Erika Kirk, and if her husband on that show don't remind you of Charlie. You look at that and tell me that don't sound like they was writing a storyline before the storyline was written. Back then, because True Blood ain't a new show. If you into vampires, it's a good show anyway. You need to go check it out. Please go check it out. I tried to play it for the Champagne Gang in the Discord, and I forgot how much sexual activity is in it. And I was like, oh no, stop. Control, Alt, Delete. I'm finna lose my Discord. But yeah, that's what Erika gives me. Sunshine and flowers on the inside. Demon night. On the outside, demon night on the inside. That's what she gives me. And I think it's all a play. I do. I think it's all a play for the White House. I think what we're watching right now is we're watching the yellow brick road to the Emerald City be paved. Those are the terms. That's how we gonna phrase it now. So, we don't make them people mad because we said the White House and the presidency. So yeah, we're watching the yellow brick road to the Emerald City be paved. I don't know if we done quite made it. Some of y'all done probably made it to the poppies already. You probably have, because y'all clearly sleep listening to this, sleepwalking, all of that listening to this, because how else are y'all falling for all the male bovine feces that's being spewed out and regurgitated right now? How y'all following it and believing it and not giving the quick side eye or the Michael Myers head tilt to the side? Like, stop playing with me. Stop playing with me. They think we dumb. That's the problem. That's because majority of them are. They brainwashed. They are brainwashed, Trump washed. Yeah, I don't know. I really don't know. But drop in the comments and let me know what you think about Erika. Erika Blade, because I think she thought she was part of Mortal Kombat. That had to be it. Had to be it. Or she thought she was, what was the other one? Oh, the part of Janet Jackson's Rhythmless Nation. Had to be one or the other. Had to be. What y'all think? Y'all buying it? Y'all sitting back there thinking, oh my God, but she's a widow. She's just hurting. You can't judge the way someone hurts and mourns and the way they express their pain. You can't do that. She's grieving. I can't tell, She got sparklers and sparkly outfits and the people chanting her name and clapping for her on 3 to 4 minutes for each entrance that she does. Doesn't look quite grievery to me. I haven't seen a tear roll down that child's face yet. Not a doggone tear have I seen roll down her face. And it would be hard to miss because she got on all that black makeup underneath her eyes. So the tears gonna run through the black and leave a trail on her cheek. I ain't seen a trail yet. So argue with your mama. Don't argue with me. Don't do it. But please, y'all. Hold on one second. I wanted to show y'all something really quick. Give me a second. I want you to please do me a favor and go over here to our champagne factory. This is the store that's been spammed into the chat the entire show. Thank you to my mods. Please come over here and grab you some of the champagne gear in the champagne factory. Y'all listen, this is our newest logo shirt, print shirt. It's called Protect the Bird. Y'all know we getting away from all Republican, Democratic foolishness. And I feel like right now what you got to do is stop appealing to parties. Baby, we got to appeal to PETA. If we want to save America, we got to appeal to PETA and tell PETA the bird is in danger. Baby, we got to make it about the bird, about the animal. That's the only way we going to save America, cuz the humans is a lost cause. They trying to become robots. Hashtag protect the bird, baby. We get your protect the bird gear. This is our patriotic gear. This is our patriotic shirt in the Champagne City. Hashtag protect the bird. And on the back, you see it. The Meocrats, you see it. I won't pick a side. I pick a standard. Baby, get your Meocrats official shirt in the Champagne City. Please go get it. It's got your official Meocrats branding on the back. And in the front, it's got your Protect the Bird. Come on. Y'all see that logo. Designed by yours truly. Come on now. Now, let's go. You can also come over here and get your iPhone case with the other Meocrats logo on it. So come on over here and get your, Go and get your iPod case. Let me go and show you what else. You want your Mia Crack hat? I'm a hat person. You see this hat with the official Mia Crack crest on it? You see it. Come on now. You see it. Come on. Look at the marker. You see that. You want your official cap. Let the people know that you are opting out of all of the Democrat, Republican foolishness. Let the people know you and me a crat now. We don't pick a side. We pick a standard. And the problem is with the Republicans and with the Democrats, they no longer represent us. They don't represent me. And I refuse to support a party that does not include me. So guess what? We created our own. You want the blue jean hat? There's the blue jean Mia Kratz hat. And there's different logos. You see it? The big logo shirt. There's the hats. Some more hats. See, there's a different Mia Kratz logo. If you like that logo, you can get that one. Let's go through it. This is my favorite. Oh, Lord. That's my favorite right there. For sure, for sure. And y'all know my saying, I'll go with your mama, not me. We have our I'll go with your mama, not me gear in here. We do have some joggers with our Champagne City logo. This one, my favorite right here. That Champagne City camo crossbody bag. Yeah, I have that one in the order. I do. Y'all like cupware? Get your tumblers. Hold on. Let me show you these tumblers really quick. Then we gonna get out of here. You see the champagne glass, the coffee cup with the Champagne City logo. Your signature journal. Hey, you see this tumbler? Do you see it? Baby, get your Champagne City tumbler. Don't you want to sip your drink out of that this summer while you walking around? Ain't nobody even gonna know what you got in there. What's in there? Shh, that's all you gotta tell them. Because shh, none of your business. This is Champagne City business. This ain't got nothing to do with you. You a chef? People always saying something about your clothes, your food. Tell them to argue with your mama. You made what you made. You want the argue with your mama in yellow? Yeah, we got several different designs. Oh, yes, we do. So y'all listen. Come on over here because y'all know we was demonetized. Hey, and I got a special design over here too. This is the champagne with a side of Casamigos. So if you want your with a side of Casamigos tumbler, you can come get that over here too. And we created this because y'all know we were demonetized. We were never fully monetized because we haven't made our 4,000 watch hours yet, but we did have our partial monetization. We did have our memberships and super chats and super thanks unlocked, but apparently YouTube doesn't like the fact that I created my own intro and I play my own intro in the beginning of my video. So I guess it's, reused content because I use it in every video. And I'm not going to stop because I created it. So I said, you know what? Don't even worry. If the Champagne Gang want to support, just cancel your memberships. I told everybody, cancel your membership. And hell, you don't get it until the money stacks up to $100 anyway. Cancel your membership. And if you want to support, like, subscribe, watch, come hang out with us, or come buy an item or two in the Champagne factory store. This is a drop shipping store, so all the proceeds do not come to me. They come to the owner of the drop shipping store, Fourth Wall, and I get a percentage of each purchase. So please support the Champagne Factory. I would greatly appreciate it. Now y'all listen, thank you so much for joining me in the Champagne City today. Good show. Crazy topics. I hate these have to be the topics, but thank you for coming out. Please hit that like and subscribe button, notification bell, so you'll be notified when we jump into wherever we jump into for another show. Champagne Gang, FizzFam, Confidants, and visitors. Always remember, if it doesn't cause you to elevate, baby, it's causing you to depreciate. Now raise those glasses, clink, and let's drink. Till we meet again. Ta-ta.
Town, every move a gift. Champagne and sip, let it slide, let it drip. Voice like a dagger and a kiss, same tip. Taste of my freedom when you feel this grip. Night rider on the town, champagne on my lip. He's speaking cold, fire in his throat, low like a stone. Under that coat, she move like smoke, soft but she sting. Calling him closer, pulling the string. Come here, I'm the tide pulling back, then I crash on you. You the spark in my glass when it catches blue. We two bros in the back of a tinted view. On this night like the stars only shine for two. Don't speak. Champagne and silk, I'm empowered when I sip. Every word I say now, honey on my lip. Cruising through the city like a shadow in the mist. Night rider on the town, every move a gift. Champagne and silk, let it slide, let it drip. Voice like a dagger and a kiss, same tip. Taste of my freedom when you feel this grip. Night rider on the town, champagne on my lip. Sit that. Champagne on my tongue, silk on my skin, undone. You lean in, say my name like a secret, like a sin. Coconut blow on your collarbone, salt on your lips, I taste home. You say, right, let the night decide. I slide in the passenger side. Yeah. Champagne and silk on my lips, dripping slow from every kiss. Powered in the sway of my hips. I'm a king, I'm a queen in the mist. Ocean breeze all over this ride. Sweet like nectar when we collide. Champagne and silk on my lips. Watch the whole damn town submit. I'm that night rider, low-key lavish. Gold teeth, grin, bad habits. You that island spell, sweet static. Turn a calm heart problematic. Tongue like a passport stamp. Every word leave a mark on your back. You pour that fizz on the curve of my neck. I call that liquid respect. You taste like someone in a slow pour. I sip. Confidence dripping to the tile floor. Wheel it. Every baby in your baritone. Got my eye heels clicking like a metronome. Champagne and silk on my lips, dripping slow from every kiss. Power in the sway of my hips. I'm a king, I'm a queen in the mist. Ocean breeze all over his ride. Sweet like nectar when we collide. Champagne and silk on my lips. Watch the whole damn town submit.